Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing this tutorial for a Korean wavy hair look. So you're going to be starting out, getting out of the shower likely, and you're going to be having wet hair. Slightly towel dried, and you're going to be getting your products ready. I'm not going to be using wax for this tutorial because I'm after a natural look that isn't too stiff, and I find that these products are the best for creating a result that wears out nicely throughout the day. The first product I'm going to be using is almost like a primer for the hair. It's MARC Anthony's hair cream. You're going to be taking a nickel size amount and applying it evenly throughout your hair. The texture of this product is quite nice, non-greasy, and similar to a moisturizer. Remember not to use too much or you're going to end up looking like a grease ball. This product helps eliminate frizz by repelling humidity. I find that it makes your hair look shiny and healthy, as vitamin E is one of the best things your hair can use for dry hair. The next step is what I would consider to be the most important part. You're going to be blow drying your hair, which will lay the foundation for the rest of the steps we're going to be doing. If you don't take your time with this part, no matter how much product or fiddling you do later, it won't turn out the same way. This hair tutorial is basically two concepts. You're adding volume here by blow drying thoroughly, and you're going to be adding texture later through the curling we're going to be doing later. The hair cream that we added is going to help boost up the volume as you blow dry, and it will leave a really nice finish to your hair. I find that the more volume you get here, the easier the curling will be later on. The important part here is that you don't want any water left, especially in the roots of your head and your sides. You're going to want to pay particular attention to the crown of your head, and what you can do if you have longer hair like I do is to take small sections of hair and blow dry the roots like so. Another method you can use is run your fingers throughout your hair and almost create a shampooing motion to create volume. You also want to make sure that your sides are not sticking out, so I like to push the palms of my hands against my hair and add heat. This is a great technique to make sure your sides are looking well placed throughout the day. The next step you're going to be doing is adding some mousse. I'm using the Protecting Root Lifting Foam by John Frieda. This product is really great because it helps protect your hair from the heat and also allows your hair to hold a more solid curl. I add 2 pumps and add it mainly in the roots of my head, once again paying attention to the crown. I'm applying very little to the bangs and sides. I like to take the time to fix up your hair at this point and run your fingers through it so that the product disperses as well as beginning to shape your hairstyle. Now make sure your hair dryer is plugged in and make sure you've given it enough time to heat up. If you don't wait, it will be pretty bad. Kind of like if you were making pancakes and you pour the batter without heating up the pan, it'll be runny and not good. You want to make sure your sides and bangs are straight as well. You can take smaller sections of your sides and run it through with your straightener. If you have straight sides, not the end of the world, you can just skip this step. Now you work on the other side. The straightener I'm using is pretty awesome, $10 from Conair, and it's great because of its size. I find most straighteners to be too wide for the length of hair that I have. So look for a straightener that's as thin as possible. It's more appropriate for the length of hair I have and definitely more suited for smaller length. Next step is to straighten your bangs to the side. I have my part going to the left side. It seems kind of funny that I'm straightening for a curling tutorial, but by having your bangs and sides straight, you're going to prevent yourself from having a style that's too curly. And as you do this, just play around to make your hair look the way you want it to. Straightening sections you don't want to stick out and running your hand through areas you want more volume in. I'm also making sure my bangs are straightened down and making sure everything is framed very nicely. Now we are finally able to curl. I like to start from the back of my head on my right side, and take small fingerful sections and separate it neatly from your head. Then take your straightener to the end of your hair section, grip down firmly, and twist right before you touch your head, and then let go. Start from the back and move methodically through the rest of your head. There is really no science to this. You will make mistakes, but luckily, if a section is too curly, you can run your finger through it to loosen up the curl, and if it fails to hold a curl, you can redo this section later, after it cools down. I find that the goal is to have loose curls on the back of your head and sides, and the top to be more curly. Make sure you like each section before you move on to the next. Here I am showing how to do your crown. Once again, take a small section of hair, stick it out, and grip your straightener onto the end of that section. You're going to twist down and hold it if you want it to be curlier, then let go. This does take a little bit of practice, and it would be much easier if someone else did it, but not all of us have the privilege of having a personal stylist. Once again, the crown and top of your head should be the curliest part. Make sure you leave your sides and bangs untouched. Obviously, you do need to grow your hair out for a tutorial like this to be effective. All my life I had that classic Asian Mohawk hair, and that style is awesome because it's so easy. You wake up, you apply some gel, and you're ready to go. But for a style like this, you have to style it, or else it's probably not going to look as neat. It's definitely more maintenance, but I think it's worth it if you're into taking care of yourself and willing to try something new. And you also have the confidence to sport a look like this. The bottom part of my bangs I do leave straight, but the hair that falls down in the front, I try to curl it a bit. Believe it or not, many K-pop idols and actors use a styling method over perms because it offers more versatility. You can have wavy hair one day and straight the next. If at this point the style does not look, you're kind of screwed. If you don't like it, you basically have the chance to just keep running your fingers through it to loosen up some curls. The final step is simply pour some hairspray onto the front, your crown, and the back. This one from Pantene is good because it does not make your hair too crunchy. Dry ramen hair is not the concept we are going for, so... Keep them dreams burning, baby. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I just wanted to show you basically what my hair looks like pretty much after like 10 hours of just like going throughout my day. And basically it ends up looking still voluminous, but obviously the curls aren't as like defined and stuff, but I actually prefer it this way. It just looks a little bit more natural, I would say. And you know, I wanted to thank all my subscribers so far. You know, it's kind of crazy. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers right now. I'm definitely going to have some really like big plans for this channel. I have a lot of ideas for the kind of videos that I want to make. In terms of basically what I want to do for this channel. These are all my ideas for all these videos I have. As you can see, this is like my idea for like the speech bubbles and things like that. So, you know, stay tuned. You definitely want to subscribe now because there's going to be so many cool videos and I want you guys to be part of them, right? So, in any case, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you guys comment and subscribe if you haven't. If you leave a comment in the tutorial videos, I'm going to try to do my very best to reply to all of you guys, just because it's a tutorial, so you guys want to know exactly what I'm doing, kind of like create the look and stuff. But keep in mind, I'm going to be making a lot more videos, basically a lot of different hair ones. So stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Also, add me on Twitter and Tumblr because I'm trying to get that going as well. And I'm trying to it's kind of hard because I think everybody has like Twitter and Tumblr and YouTube and all these things, but I'm trying to give you guys a reason to subscribe to each of them, like provide like different content for each of the platforms, because I don't want to just like post my YouTube videos on all the things, because then what's the point, right? So anyways, I'm just rambling on, but you know, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys soon. Dream, baby, dream. Oh, baby, gotta keep that dream burning. Keep that dream burning forever. Dream, baby, dream. Dream, baby, dream. Dream, baby, dream. Dream, baby, dream. Oh, dream, baby, dream, baby, dream, baby, dream, baby, dream, baby. Oh, dream, baby, dream.
Why you keep that flame burning, babe?